So you understand English, but you can't speak it fluently. Does this sound familiar to you? You can read books, watch movies, and listen to podcasts in English, but when it comes to speaking, you feel stuck. You can't find the right words, you make mistakes, you hesitate, and you repeat yourself. You feel embarrassed and discouraged. You wonder why you can't speak English as well as you can understand it. If this is your situation, don't worry, you are not alone. This is a very common problem for many English learners, especially those who learn English mostly from books, classes, or online resources. These methods are great for building your vocabulary and grammar, but they don't give you enough practice to develop your speaking skills. Speaking is a different skill than listening, reading, or writing. It requires more than just knowing the language. It also requires confidence, fluency, and spontaneity. Why is speaking English so important? Well, speaking is the most essential skill for communication. It allows you to express yourself, share your ideas, connect with others, and achieve your goals. Whether you want to travel, study, work, or make friends in English, speaking is the key to success. Without speaking, you are missing out on many opportunities and experiences that English can offer you. So how can you overcome this problem and speak English more fluently? Well, the good news is that there is a solution. In this video, I'm going to share with you an action plan that consists of 5 steps to improve your speaking fluency in English. These steps are based on scientific research, proven methods, and my own experience as an English learner. If you follow these steps consistently and diligently, you will see a remarkable improvement in your speaking skills in a short time. Are you ready to find out what these steps are? Let's get started. The first step to improve your speaking fluency in English is to speak English as much as possible, even if you make mistakes or feel nervous. This might sound obvious, but many English learners avoid speaking because they are afraid of making errors or being judged by others. However, this is a big mistake. Speaking is the best way to practice and improve your speaking skills. The more you speak, the more you learn, and the more confident you become. How can you speak English more often? Here are some tips. Find a speaking partner. This can be a friend, a teacher, or anyone who can speak English with you. You can meet them in person or online and have a regular conversation on the topics that interest you. You can also join online communities, forums, or apps where you can chat with other English learners or native speakers. Create opportunities to speak English in your daily life. For example, you can talk to yourself, narrate your actions, describe your surroundings, or express your opinions in English. You can also use English when you order food, shop, travel, or do other activities. You can also watch English videos, movies, or shows, and repeat what you hear or summarize what you watched in English. Challenge yourself to speak English in different situations. For example, you can participate in debates, presentations, interviews, or games in English. You can also join clubs, groups, where you can meet and talk to new people in English. You can also try to learn something new in English, such as a hobby, skill, or subject. The second step to improve your speaking fluency in English is to learn whole phrases and sentences instead of isolated words, and practice using them in different contexts. This will help you expand your vocabulary, improve your grammar, and reduce your hesitation. When you speak English, you don't use just individual words. You use combinations of words that form meaningful units of expressions. These are called phrases or sentences. For example, instead of learning the word happy, you can learn phrases like I'm happy, or happy birthday, happy to hope, or sentences like she was very happy with her results, or he made me happy by giving me a hug, etc. These phrases and sentences will help you communicate more effectively and naturally in English. How can you learn phrases and sentences in English? Here are some tips. Learn from context. Whenever you encounter a new word, don't just memorize its meaning. Try to understand how it is used in a phrase or a sentence. You can use dictionaries, books, or articles, or online resources that provide example and explanations of word usage. You can also listen to native speaker or watch English videos, and pay attention to how they use the word in different situations. Learn from collocations. Collocations are words that often go together in English, such as make a mistake, take a break, have fun, etc. Learning collocations will help you avoid common errors and sound more natural in English. You can use collocation dictionaries, lists, or online tools that shows you the most common words combinations in English. You can also learn from idioms, proverbs, and slang expressions that use collocations. Learn from chunks. Chunks are groups of words that function as a unit in a sentence, such as in my opinion, on the other hand, as soon as possible, etc. Learning chunks will help you speak more fluently in English. You can use chunks dictionaries, books, or online resources that provide you with useful phrases and sentences for different purposes and contexts. You can also learn from formulas, patterns, and templates that help you structure your speech in English. The third step to improve your speaking fluency in English is to listen to authentic English materials, such as a podcast, audiobooks, or videos, and try to imitate the pronunciation and the rhythm of the speakers. This will help you improve your listening comprehension, your accent, and your expression in English. Listening is the foundation of speaking. When you listen to authentic English materials, you expose yourself to the real and natural way that native speakers use the language. You can learn how they pronounce words, how they vary their tone, and how they pause and connect their speech. These are all essential elements of fluent and clear speaking. How can you listen to authentic English materials and imitate the speakers? Here are some tips. Choose materials that match your level, interest, and goal. For example, if you are a beginner, you can choose materials that are simple, slow, and clear, such as children's stories, songs, or cartoons. If you are intermediate or advanced learner, you can choose materials that are complex, fast, and diverse, such as news, documentaries, or movies. You can also choose materials that are related to your field, hobby, or topic that you want to talk about in English. The fourth step to improve your speaking fluency in English is to think in English instead of translating from your native language. This will help you avoid mental blocks, confusion, and errors when you speak English. Well, when you speak English, you don't have time to translate every word or sentence from your native language. This will slow you down, interrupt your flow, and make you sound unnatural. It will also cause you to make mistakes because not every word or structure in your native language has an exact equivalent in English. You need to think in English, which means using the words, grammars, and logic of English directly without going through your native language. Think in English from the beginning. Don't wait until you are fluent to start thinking English. Start from the moment you learn a new word, a phrase, or a sentence. Try to associate it with an image, sound, or feeling or a situation, rather than with a word in your native language. For example, when you learn the word apple, don't think of the word manzana in Spanish, or poem in French, or tufaha in Arabic. This will help you remember the word better and use it more easily in English. Use mirroring to answer questions. Mirroring is a technique where you use the same words or structure for the question to form your answer. This will help you answer questions more quickly and naturally in English without having to think too much. For example, if someone asks you, where are you from? You can mirror the question and say, I am from France, or I am from Italy, or whatever. If someone asks you, do you like pizza? You can mirror the question and say, yes, I do, or no, I don't. You can also add more information to your answer if you want, but the main idea is to use the question as a guide for your answer. The fifth step to improve your speaking fluency in English is to expand your vocabulary by learning new words and expressions and review them regularly using spaced repetition technique. This will help you enrich your language, express yourself more accurately and creatively, and avoid repetition and boredom when you speak English. Vocabulary is the building block of any language. The more words and expressions you know, the more you can understand and communicate in English. Having a large and varied vocabulary will also help you avoid using the same words over and over again, which can make your speech sound dull and monotonous. You will also be able to use different words and expressions for different situations, contexts, and audiences, which will make your speech more appropriate and effective. How can you expand your vocabulary and review it regularly? Review words and expressions regularly using spaced repetition technique. Spaced repetition is a technique where you review the information that you learned at increasing intervals of time, such as after a day, a week, a month, etc. This will help you transfer the information from your short-term memory to your long-term memory and prevent you from forgetting it. You can use flashcards, notebooks, or apps that help you review your vocabulary using spaced repetition technique. You can also review your vocabulary by using it in your speech, writing, or other activities in English. So these are 5 steps to improve your speaking fluency in English. Speak English as much as possible, even if you make mistakes or feel nervous. Learn whole phrases and sentences instead of isolated words and practice using them in different contexts. Listen to authentic English materials such as podcasts, audiobooks, or videos and try to imitate the pronunciation, intonation, and rhythm of the speakers. Think in English instead of translating from your native language and use mirroring to answer questions quickly and naturally. Expand your vocabulary by learning new words and expressions and review them regularly using spaced repetition techniques. By following this action plan, you will be able to overcome the problem of understanding English but not able to speak it fluently. You will be able to communicate more effectively and enjoyably in English. And if you want to take your English speaking skills to the next level, I have a special offer for you. I've compiled a free ebook containing 100 essential phrases used in native English that will significantly improve your speaking abilities. To grab your free copy, click on the link in the description below and download the ebook now. Don't miss this opportunity to boost your speaking skills at no cost. I hope you find the ebook helpful in your language journey. Thank you for your interest, and I look forward to hearing about your progress. See you in the next video. Bye for now.